Hey guys, it's Ariana Rose. Welcome to my channel. Today I am doing this natural everyday makeup look with Flawless Supernatural Foundation. So if you want to see how to create it, then just keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos of me. So the first step to getting flawless skin is what you are putting in your body and then also how you're taking care of it. So make sure that you're eating healthy and drinking tons of water is major key. Water will change your skin. Secondly, you obviously want to make sure you're cleansing it and you're moisturizing and taking care of your skin on a daily basis. Now going into makeup, I've already cleansed and prepped my skin and I'm going into primer. And I'm using MAC Prep and Prime 24-hour base. This is great if you have oily eyelids. It really helps to keep everything on. And then I bring a little bit right through here, just sort of patting it very gently. And that will just help keep my concealer on, and I feel like it makes it a little bit more pigmented as well. Now, I always have trouble with face primers. I feel like most of them do more harm to my skin than good, just because my skin is so sensitive and so many of them have silicones and products that just sort of clog my pores and I get really bad like irritation bumps on them. One I've been trying lately is the Becca BACKLIGHT primer and I did really like that. I just haven't picked it up yet. So this is where you would prime your skin, but I am not going to. I'm just going to go straight into foundation. Now to get a natural looking foundation, you want to make sure that you're choosing a coverage that is the least amount of coverage possible for like a daily wear, so it doesn't look too heavy and you can see your skin through it. One of my absolutely favorite foundations is Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation. It is so beautiful and they all have more of a yellow tone to it, which is great for my skin. It's really hard to find the right color for me and it looks like skin. So I'm just going to go in on the back of my hand with a couple pumps. And I'm using her full coverage face brush to do this. And I just start right in the cheek area. And I don't dot it on my skin because I feel like no matter how many times you do your foundation, you're gonna use too much doing that. So only use what you need. And I'm just going in circular motions, being pretty light-handed with it. And I'm just blending that in. And if you have areas of your skin that don't really need much coverage, you don't need to put as much foundation. Now, my problem area is through the center of my face. I get more redness and my nose, some discoloration, and my chin is like sort of this area is where I tend to break out. I'm just sort of patting the foundation in, not really adding a ton more, but this is just gonna help to build up the coverage a little bit. Just make sure it's blended all the way down the neck, behind the ear. So if you have any really bad breakouts or super bad areas where you want a little bit of extra coverage, you'd go in with a concealer. I have the Bobbi Brown Creamy Concealer and I would just take a little tiny brush like this and then just spot conceal the little areas that you need it. I don't have too many. I'm like, on a daily basis, I'm okay with you sort of seeing through the makeup and seeing some of my flaws in my skin. I'm like okay with that because it looks more natural unless I have like a beastly pimple. I'm gonna cover it. Alright, so now I'm done with my skin and I'm going to go in with under eye concealer and I'm using MAC Prolongwear. I've tried so many under eye concealers and my eyes crease no matter what. And I've just come to live with it. This is just sort of my favorite. I wear it even on a daily basis. You just don't want to use a ton and be super heavy-handed. I'm just going to dampen my beauty blender and then I'll be right back. Alright, so I've dampened my beauty blender. So I'm going to go in with the Prolongwear Concealer in NW20. And I'm just going to put a little bit on my hand. And I'm just going to work from there. And I just take a little bit on my beauty blender and really try to take not that much, and I'm just gonna start right where I have the most darkness, and I'm just going to lightly pat it on. I found for me this is the best way to conceal without getting too cakey and not getting too much concealer. Here I don't need as much coverage. I just sort of blend it with the like side that I didn't put the concealer on. Now you can also use correctors underneath your eye too if you want a little extra help neutralizing the darkness. And my favorite one is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. And this is just like a pink tone, and that helps to conceal it underneath. But today I'm just going in with the concealer. And I try to bring it like up a little bit right through here where I have a lot of darkness, but I don't want to get it too close to like the inner corners of my eyes and just too close to my lash line, just because gets a little much, if you know what I mean. And then without grabbing any more, I'm just gonna go right on the center of my nose. And this helps to conceal any discoloration that I have or any breakouts, and it also helps to highlight, just right down the center. All right, so now I'm going to set my under eye concealer, and I'm going in with the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. And I really like this because it keeps everything in place and it does its job. It doesn't brighten or anything, but I mean, that's okay for me. So I'm just going to take my Sigma Tapered F35 brush. I'm just gonna get a little bit on there and just sort of work it into the brush and then tap it off. So I'm just taking my little mini beauty blender, and this is not damp. All I'm gonna use this for is I'm gonna go like this. And I'm just gonna pat the concealer out of my creases. And then immediately after, I'm going to set it. And you wanna make sure that you're patting. Do not swipe, pat. And then same exact thing on the other eye. Only do one eye at a time because the second you look up, it creases. And then still using this brush, I'm gonna pick up a little bit more. The only thing I'm gonna set with this brush is just my nose. Right through here, just because this is the area, and then right through here where I actually get a little bit of shine and I want a little bit of extra powder. Now, since I like my foundation to look really natural and glowy, I don't like to use a ton of powder, but I am going to use a little bit just to sort of set it so that way it lasts throughout the day. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm taking this Real Techniques blush brush. I like this because it's synthetic, so it's not going to grab as much product. And it's super soft and fluffy, so you could just sort of pat it into the skin really softly. And I'm just going to take the littlest amount on my brush. And then I'm going to take the lid and I'm just going to swirl it into the brush and then tap it off so that there's really not that much there. And I'm going to start my cheek, and I'm just going to go on my forehead. I could do, and then there's still a little bit in the lid, so I'm just going to go like this and then tap it on there. And then this area is my trouble area, so I need the most coverage, and it tends to come off, but it also gets really dry. So I have to be very careful about what I put on it. So I'm literally just taking what's sort of left over and then just doing a once over. And then that is my foundation routine that I do on a daily basis. The keys that you want to take away is making sure that you're using the least amount of coverage possible, and then building it up just in the areas that you need it, and spot concealing. Those three things are really going to make your foundation look natural, but also flawless. Now going into bronzer, my absolute favorite is the Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow. And it looks like this. Obviously I've hit pan. And my new obsession is this MAC 135 brush. It is amazing for bronzer. So I'm just gonna take a little bit on my brush and then pat it off and just apply it on my cheeks. And I'm just sort of applying that really softly right around here. Just taking more when I need it. Before blush, I'm going to highlight, and I'm using the same Charlotte Tilbury palette. And this is a super pretty highlight that just sort of gives you a really pretty glow from within. I really like it. And then I'm using the Morphe M501 to highlight. I'm bringing that just on the bridge of my nose. I don't want it to be here. I want it to be here because this is the smaller part of my nose and it tends to dip down a little bit, so I want to bring that area forward a little bit, and I don't want to bring the tip of it, so I'm just placing it there and a little bit on my cupid's bow, and then a tiny bit on my chin. And then while I'm doing that, I'm just going to do my inner corner highlight too, because I'm using the same exact thing, and I'm just using the Real Techniques shading brush. And I'm just going to apply that on the inner corner. So now, just to add a little bit more pop to my cheek highlight, I'm going to use the Becca Moonstone. And I'm literally just going to take the tiniest bit and place it more on the top of my cheekbone to really make that look lifted. And I don't want it to be too intense, but I want it to just give a little extra brightness to that. And I'll bring just a little bit extra. And I'm just gonna use the same exact palette and moving on to my eyes. On a daily basis, I don't like to use a primer that totally conceals my lid because I feel like it gives you more of that natural vibe if you can see a little bit of your eyelid through. I don't know if any of you guys feel that way, but I feel that way sometimes, not all the time. Anyways, I'm using the Zoeva 228 brush, and I'm just taking the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer and just applying that through the crease. Just blend it upwards and then outwards too. And then I'm just going to move on to the MAC 226 brush, and I'm going to put that underneath and just make sure that it's connected on the outer corner. So I just take that and then blend it sort of outwards. And then just to deepen up this crease area a little bit, I'm just taking this brush and focusing a little bit more product right through there. And then I only do this if I feel like it, but I think it makes my eyes look better. I'm taking the highlighter and the palette and just the same fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna put that right on my eyelid. And then that's all I do. Daily eyeshadow done. And then for eyeliners, I usually don't wear eyeliner on a daily basis, but what I will do is put Nars, the larger than life liner, and this is the color, I don't know, Via Appia, maybe? I'm gonna put this on the top waterline, and I just sort of start in the corner like this, and then I'll just sort of look down and bring it around. I love these pencils because they actually stay on my eyes, and even though I'm putting it just on the top, it's not going to transfer to the bottom. Then I'm taking the Rue Bonaparte, if that's how you say it. And this is just the nude shade, and I'm putting that on the bottom lower line, lash line, waterline, that's what I'm saying. And then that is just going to help open up my eyes a little bit, and then the liner on the top is going to make my lashes look a little bit fuller and sort of lift my eyes. So I'm going to do mascara, and I always use the Extend to Play Gigablack Lash. Alright, so now I'm going to fill my brows in, and I'm just going to use the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I like the small one, I do not like the big one. Alright, then I'm just going to set them with my clear brow gel. Alright, now for blush, I'm going to go in with Milani Luminoso, and I'm just going to take this MAC 137 brush, which I've been obsessed with for blush, and I'm just going to apply that on the apples of my cheeks and just blend it back. With blush, you just want to make sure that it's not too low. I see so many people putting their highlight all the way down and then their blush down here, and that just sort of lowers your face, sort of sags it. This is going to help to brighten up your face and lift it. Now for lips, I'm just going to go in with this NYX lip liner in Peekaboo Neutral. Alright, and then I'm going in with my Wet n Wild Fergie Daily lipstick. Then one of my favorite lip glosses has been Leslie from Buxom. Alright guys, so this is it. This is my everyday natural makeup look with Flawless Natural Foundation. If there's any videos that you want to see from me, just go ahead and comment down below and let me know. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.